All right, so we're about to get into part 2 of episode 3. If you missed part 1, I'll leave it in the description section below. Starting to get a little juicy, I think, so let's jump into it. I'm just going to go back just a little bit.
They have a period. They have their period, so they are separate. We're together. We talk. Your companions, your A's connect, everything like that. But we don't have any physical relationship because it's not the right.
No
time.
physical touch.
No physical.
Can you
touch.
like touch their hands?
No.
No. For 2
That's
weeks.
yeah, but that's an extra precaution. That's a safety feature.
Yep.
That's a safety feature.
But
that's like when my car goes in reverse and starts beeping. I can still go back. I can still.
I guess that's an interesting analogy. Yeah, maybe, just abstaining from the whole touch in general would highly reduce any kind of maybe feelings or emotions or urges that might occur, even just from touching the hand, I guess.
Go back. But they just don't want me to hit the car behind me.
Right.
So
So it makes it always interesting, right? Is that what it does?
What's beautiful is after 2 weeks are over, and she goes to a spa. Literally, you got a tour on these places. They make them beautiful.
Okay.
Beautiful.
There are all these spas around here?
They have it. Yeah, they have it. And this neighborhood, there's 3.
Okay.
One nicer than the other.
Yeah.
There's one you go into the garage. The garage looks like a beautiful apartment. First, they soak themselves for about an hour.
Yep.
In a bath. It's called a prepping. Okay.
Yeah. So we learned about this. They soak, they clean, they take off the nail polish, clean the dirt from under their fingernails, all that stuff. Yeah, it sounds like a pretty lengthy process.
They take a shower, and then they go into this mikveh that's meant for purifying. That's something that we did back in the time where the holy priest, anytime you're doing something holy, you go, men also, we go into ward. We go some people do it every morning before you pray to God. It's a certain, it's a certain level of cleanness. It's basically like we getting married again.
Now, in terms of the men, obviously, I'm guessing that they don't have spas. Do they have mikvahs built in their homes? Or can you have a mikvah in your home as long as, I guess, you have access to the outside water, like the natural water? Or are there locations as well for men? They're just maybe not as nice as the women's, like, and maybe the men don't have to do the whole process that the women have to do.
It's like a whole new
Every month,
and it's a beautiful time because that's a time just like we dedicate on Shabbos a certain time where it's only family. This is a time where everything is put aside. We clear the desk, and husband and wife for each other.
So do you think it keeps marriages fresher?
Absolutely, because you're not taking each other for granted so much. You get pulled back. You're not, and now you're allowed. Oh wow! It's such a beautiful reunion when the husband. The first thing you do is we don't show any.
I need to try that sometime with my wife.
That's a good one. I guess I could see that there's definitely benefits to this kind of structure of things, or like the way that it's done. But now I can also see on the flip side why maybe you guys have, not that this is the reason why there's so many children, but it seems like maybe this is kind of around the time where a woman would be kind of the most fertile as well, because she just finished her period. She's waited a whole another 7 days to go to the spa, if not a little bit more, and then you finally reunite, and that seems like it's kind of closer to the time where she would be just like getting into the ovulation and stuff, which then could lead to, getting pregnant and and so on and so forth.
You'll appreciate it, Your wife is like this. Is always like every time is like this new bride you just married, almost like that. It's like and the husband's like new also because you sort of had that separation. Now, oh wow. Now if you know. The human being there was only one human being. There was Adam, and he had the male and female in him. Okay.
Yes, a lot of you have explained this to me as well. That it wasn't that God took Eve or Eve out of Adam like a rib or whatnot. It was just that they were connected, and God separated them. Yeah.
Then God saw that it can't work out. You have to have two people.
Mm-hmm.
It's called what we call in Hebrew Eze Kenegda, someone who's a helper who's against you. Sounds like a contradiction. How could a helper be against you?
Right.
I'll give you a perfect example. The other day I was driving, I was in a rush to get home, and I'm with my wife, and I was going in the middle. I was sort of doing something a little
Sure.
not so. My wife says, listen, you're going to get home 2 minutes earlier. It's not worth it because
Right.
if you get stopped, if something happens, it's not worth it.
Right.
That's someone who opposed what I was doing, but at the same time helping me. She guided me back onto the right path.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Okay. I like this. He's got some pretty good analogies. I like how he's or framing of things. I do like that.
So God needed a second set of eyes, a second mouth to guide each other. The women who just literally guided their husbands into the right way, and some who did, and the other way also, men who guided the wives in the right way. It's just that second set of eyes.
So what I was saying before was that the Torah isn't a restriction for life. It's more like boundaries in a guidebook. So let's say you're in a car and you're trying to travel somewhere and you don't have Waze, you don't have a GPS,
Right.
then you could drive for miles, for hours, for days. You won't get to your destination necessarily.
Right.
But when you have a Torah, that's your guidebook that tells you restrictions. Okay, you have to stop at this light, turn that way. Even if though you really want to turn left, if you have to turn right, then you have to turn right. And if you turn left, you're not going to get to your destination.
So would
Okay, another good analogy. I like that. Okay, yes. And that I think that kind of ties back into what I was saying in the previous episode was no matter how much you kind of get off the path, you always have like a guiding light or like a beacon or like a North Star that will help you get back on track to get to that goal that you're trying to get to. I like that.
you say like life? I don't know the number, but every day we make like something like 20,000 decisions or something like that. But if you're following your religion,
Right.
a lot of that decision making is removed.
For sure.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And it's not always easy because, listen, I would like to go down past every light sometimes when I'm in a rush. But you need the red light, which is compromising my freedom, right? Because I can't go.
Right,
But
right.
you need that because you have to compromise sometimes freedom for safety.
So all the world knows about
For sure, for sure. It's kind of also ties back to like you can't just think about yourself, you have to think about the others around you in your life, this and that, the importance of that. Because if you're just thinking about what you want, then you could potentially be hurting other people, right?
is that women are hidden in the back corner and we don't have a say in life, and that we all are just about following certain things, and we're all black and white and straightforward. Everything you see in movies, especially, everyone knows a writer makes their own decision of what bias they want to put on you. So if I'm anti-Semitic, I could write something that will make everyone hate Jews.
Sure.
If I am racist, I could write something to make everyone hates any small group of people.
Sure.
If I want people to love Jews, I could write a movie that everyone's going to love Jews. It's all about the perspective, and it's also people, when they write something negative about a minority, it's coming from a really bad, low place.
It's coming from fear, right?
It's coming from fear, it's coming from resentment.
Yeah, maybe the fear of the unknown, the fear of something different, the fear of something like you're not used to seeing that type of thing. Um, I guess I could see that too. Like if you moved into an area like this, maybe you wouldn't, but unless you did some research, but if you moved into an area like this and you started to see all the Jewish men or Jewish people and, what they wear and how they practice and this and that, and then you're kind of worried, oh my God, is this a cult? Is this, something to be concerned about? And you can spiral down certain rabbit holes. I think, you should just accept people are different. Like we're not all the same. So, even between me and my wife or, my daughter and stuff like that, like obviously even me and my brother, me and my mother, like everybody has distinct differences. A lot of people in my family are kind of confused when they meet me and they know my mom and they're like, that's your son? Because I'm nothing like her, but we are of the same blood. So even that, you have to get used to that kind of thing.
From uneducation, as a woman, I'm saying this, I don't feel pushed down or anything. So anything you're getting from a movie or from a documentary, it's based on the maker's way of thinking and their negative or positive experiences. We're approachable. We don't have horns or tails. We are normal people. We like to be on social media.
Is this one of the like times of prayer that Shlomi would be obligated to be praying? Is that why he's facing the wall and kind of praying? Also, it seems like maybe these comments that she's saying are a little bit more directed to that Netflix documentary or docu-series or whatever show, the Unorthodox that Peter mentioned at the beginning and that I've talked about before. Because again, that was my first kind of like introduction into like the Jewish world, I guess. And obviously that was a show and that was that girl's particular experience. But it definitely, I'm sure, painted a different picture in everyone's eyes, being like, oh my God, like, look at that that community, women are so oppressed, yada yada. But from what we've been seeing so far, like, it's, some people are into it, some people aren't. It's not a, you can't paint it with a broad brush.
And chill with our friends and go out to eat and do regular mundane things. Peace, love.
Fantastic. Fantastic.
There are some people, Jews, who feel that they're being compromised, they're being questioned, negatively, like, why do you do this, why do you do that, like as if in an insult way. So we also have to be educated. People are just curious, they want to know about us also.
Right, that's why I'm here.
Yeah, that's why I'm here too, Peter. You and I are curious.
Yeah.
That's a part of
why
it.
I'm here.
We won't bite.
One of the most culturally stimulating days of my life. Get in here, guys. Get in here. And I'm in America. I'm in my home country. And wow, blown away. Thanks, Shlomi.
Thank you for coming. Once again, thank you for being brave and sticking your head under the water.
Lastly, I have a Patreon page, some behind the scenes footage, and some other stuff if you want to support the channel. Until next video. From, what neighborhood are we in again? Crown Heights.
Crown Heights. That's awesome. Yeah, I didn't even realize that these 3 episodes was actually filmed over just, I guess, like a 1-day period. That's pretty interesting that Peter was able to fit all of that or get to all of those different locations within that time frame.
Brooklyn, New York. Until the next one.
Shalom.
All the girls, when they get to reach high school, and all the boys,
Yeah.
they all get a blood testing. They each have ID number to make sure that the genetics match, where there's no weak genes are put together.
Serious background check. Serious background check.
genetic. And if you're not a match, you don't go out. You only date if you're a match.
Wow, so that's also like part of the research type of thing. Oh, this must be one of the other videos, the Shabbat dinner that everyone keeps telling me to check out. And this is Shlomi's channel. Okay, so maybe we'll check out Shlomi's channel as well. See, I heard he does a lot of travel to some of the more to some of the Arab countries, so that'll be cool to watch as well. Well, definitely dropping a like on this. I can understand why it's got over almost 2 million views. Peter does a fantastic job. Shlomi, everybody else who's been in these 3 episode parters that we've seen have been amazing. You guys let me know what you thought in the comment section below. Hit the subscribe button. I think we're like 50 subs away from 4,000 subs, which is mind-blowing that we just started this journey like maybe 3 weeks ago, maybe a month. So I appreciate all the love and all the support. Thank you so much, guys, and I'll catch you on the next one. All right.